Genius Kids. Cultivating love for learning.
Lesson 11. Human settlement, transport, and communication. Knowledge acquisition. It is believed that some millions of years ago, human life first appeared on the earth. Prehistoric people used crude tools and weapons of stone for hunting animals and cleaning their hides. Early man also gathered natural food from the forests. He moved from one place to another in search of food. This stage in the life of modern man, which lasted for several thousand years, is termed as the hunter-gatherer stage of early man's nomadic lifestyle. There are three categories of nomads. 1. Hunter-gatherers. They roam in forests like the Jalwa tribals of the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. The Pygmies of the Congo Basin in Africa, the world's shortest people, still collect nuts, fruits and roots from forests for food, supplemented by hunting. 2. Transhumans. It is the way of life of forest people like the Bakawals of Kashmir. They are pastoralists who move with their livestock to the higher reaches of mountains in summer and descend to the lower reaches in winter. 3. Gypsies. They travel from place to place. They can sometimes be found in big cities selling herbal medicine on the streets. Today, some of these gypsies have discarded their animal drawing carts in favor of motor vehicles. All these categories of people today prefer to keep a separate identity. India is home to a number of these hunting and food-gathering communities. They can also be seen in Australia, New Zealand, the United States of America, and many other countries. Settled life. The practice of living at one place emerged only after the coming of regular farming and domestication of animals. Settled life has certain characteristics which define that way of life. Reasons for development of settled habitations. The following factors played significant role in the development of settlements. 1. Introduction of farming and invention of tools helped man to choose permanent sites for settlements. 2. Topography or surface features of the land. The terrain of a region influences construction of houses, roads, etc. 3. Availability of resources for living, such as clean air and water, fruits, vegetables, or even animals to hunt for food. 4. Development of culture and surplus agricultural produce led to quests for higher standards of living. 5. Marriage, kinship, and the security of family and tribe were some of the major attractions of settled life. 6. They began to use the river as natural pathway for their movement. After constructing boats, they began to carry themselves as well as goods using the river as a medium of transport. 7. Climatic changes, which took place between 10,000 and 7,000 years ago, forced people to move to better locations. For example, the Sahara in Africa was an area of dense vegetation some 8,000 to 7,000 years ago. When it turned into a desert, the people who lived there migrated to other continents. Types of settlements. Most of such settlements can be described in terms of the dominant economic activities of their inhabitants. Two settlements can, however, be distinguished: temporary and permanent. Temporary settlements. People settle at a place for a short period or temporarily. Forest dwellers, hunter-gatherers, and people practicing transhumance can also be classified in this category. Permanent settlements. In these types of settlements, people build houses as per their convenience. Such settlements, which grow around watercourses like river banks or sea coasts, are called wet point settlement. The great ancient civilizations of Mesopotamia, Egypt, Rome, Indus Valley, and China were wet point settlements. They are also called river valley civilizations. Water played a significant role in the development and progress of early towns and cities. Settlements on higher ground not prone to flooding are called dry point settlements. They generally come up along transport routes but must have wet soil in their periphery. Such settlements grow along marshes, estuaries, and are often slightly away from sea coasts. The dry point settlements are most common in delta regions. Settlements along caravan routes, trading routes, and railroad lines are generally dry point settlements. The earliest example of a dry point settlement is Çatalhöyük in Turkey. Peshawar, now in Pakistan, has become an important town because of its proximity to the Khyber Pass route linking Afghanistan and Pakistan. Rural settlements. Permanent settlements are of two types, rural and urban. Rural settlements are villages where people depend on agriculture or agriculture-related occupations like fishing and craft works. These settlements are small and have mud house. There are several types of rural settlements as shown in the figure. All of these settlements came up well adapted to suit their natural environment. For example, most of the houses on hill slopes with heavy rainfall or snowfall have sloping roofs. Marshes near sea coasts have houses built on stilts. Similarly, houses in rural areas are made of locally available building materials like mud bricks, bamboo poles, clay, straw, etc. Urban settlements. Towns and cities are urban settlements. These settlements have mostly non-agricultural functions like industries, trade, commercial administration, transport and utility services like education, hospitals, entertainment, etc. They are well connected by roads and other services. Notice the towns and cities along Trans-Siberian Rail route linking Perm in East Russia to Vladivostok in the west, with extensions to Hong Kong and Hanoi via China. Major international highways are connected to the route. Means of transport are essential for such settlements to come up. Role of transport and communications in settlements. Transport and communication networks have always played a significant role in human-environment interaction. It has had both negative and positive impact on the environment. The world's first wheeled vehicles were used during the early civilizations in 3500 BC 2000 years ago. The Romans used metal roads for military uses for the first time. The main features of transport and communication networks are the following. 1. It facilitates movement of people and goods from one place to another. 2. It improves and influences social and economic interaction among people. 3. It leads to more economic activities which, in turn, lead to development and growth of settlements. 4. Means of communication such as radio and television enrich people's lives by providing facilities for entertainment. 5. They provide convenient services to people, for example, door-to-door services by the railways. They play a crucial role in integrating diverse cultures, religions and beliefs of people and unites them as a nation, for example, railways during India's freedom movement. 7. They play a crucial role in raising the living standards of people by providing employment and better services. 8. In many cases, better means of transport have controlled the costs of goods and services. For example, pipelines have made transportation of many liquids and gases convenient and comparatively cheap. There are also transcontinental railways, like the legendary Trans-Siberian Railway, which runs from one end of Eurasia to the other, and other special trains. These are generally fast trains. Other types of fast trains are monorails, as seen in Germany. Maglev trains run while suspended in midair by means of magnetic levitation. Many cities of the world like London, New York, New Delhi and Kolkata have metro rail. Its enclosed track runs both underground and on elevated surfaces above ground to provide fast, comfortable service to city commuters. In India, considerable progress has been made in running railways. Almost all the major routes have now been electrified. Railways in India are the main mode of transport for long-distance travel as well as movement of freight. The factors which influence the development of railways are the relief features, density of population, availability of natural resources, and the level of economic development. 3. Water transport. It comprises of inland waterways and ocean routes. Inland waterways provide water transport services in rivers, canals, and big lakes. Boats and steamers are used for transporting cargo and passengers. In USA, they also provide facilities for international ships to enter the interior regions for loading and unloading cargo. Waterways are still the cheapest means of transport. The Suez Canal and the Panama Canal are great achievements in linking continents and providing waterways services. There are 6 major ocean routes, among which the North Atlantic Sea route is the biggest. Other important routes are the Pacific Ocean route, which connects the west coast of America with the east coast of Asia, the Cape of Good Hope route connecting Europe with Africa, the South Atlantic route connecting South American and North American continents. Other 2 routes connect Melbourne in Australia with Buenos Aires in the South America via the Cape of Good Hope, and Panama Canal route connecting London with Melbourne via Panama. India is blessed with 5,600 kilometers long coastline and 12 major ports. Of these, Mumbai, Kandla, Chennai and Tuticorin are the most important. 4. Air transport. Air transport is the fastest but the most expensive mode of transport. The aeroplanes carry passengers, cargo and mail. It is very important in the present era of globalization. The United States of America, Western Europe, Australia and some countries in South America and Southeast Asia have very dense networks of air routes. Major and busy international airports are London, New York, Paris, Rome, New Delhi, Mumbai, Karachi, Bangkok, Singapore, Tokyo, Los Angeles, Chicago, Buenos Aires and Rio de Janeiro. We have made considerable progress in the field of airways. At present, there are 2 airlines in the public sector and many private airlines catering to domestic and international air routes. These airlines link India to more than 100 different countries. There are above 20 international airports and above 100 national airports in India. Air travel has become more comfortable and convenient than what it was a decade ago. Roadways. 1. It is the easiest mode of transport for short distances. 2. It takes people right up to their doorsteps. Bus services are cheap and popular. 3. Roads can be built even in hilly and remote areas. 4. They carry most people and goods overland. Railways. 1. Railways are the easiest means of transport for long distances. 2. Trains stop only at certain stations along their routes. 3. Railways cannot reach remote areas or normally climb steep hills. 4. Most people use railways for long-distance travel or transport of goods. Waterways. 1. It is the easiest means of transport if water bodies exist. 2. Ships load and unload only at ports. 3. The cost of laying tracks or roads is avoided. 4. Cheapest means of transport for bulk goods. Airways. 1. They are the best, but the most expensive, means of long-distance travel. 2. Aircraft only land and take off from airports. 3. They can fly over any area but can land only if facilities exist. 4. Only light goods can be carried. It is the most expensive way to transport goods. Comparison of the main means of transport. Communications. Different means of communication are used for carrying the messages and ideas. The people of India today use the same means of communication which are used all over the world. These include personal communication, post and telegraphs, telephone, computer, fax, etc. Mass communication, radio, television, newspaper and outdoor advertising. Latest advancements like mobile phones, SMS, video, cable television, email, satellite phone, etc. form a part of the above means in one form or another. They represent technological advancements in the above means that makes them more convenient, fast, effective and efficient. Do you know? The penny post was first introduced in Great Britain. In this system, normal letters could be sent for 1 penny. Personal communications. Postal communication by using postal stationery articles like postcards, envelopes, etc. is only about 160 years ago. Sending messages by carrier pigeons, runners or horse stagecoach services developed many centuries ago in China, Persia, Greece and Rome. The first telecommunication device was the telegraph. It was developed in the USA by Samuel Morse, who also developed the Morse code in the 1830s. Alexander Graham Bell, in 1876, with his invention of telephone, ushered in a revolution. All the telephone lines in an area meet at the telephone exchange. This system was later used to link not only telephones but also fax machines and home computers. The first internet service providers used the standard telephone to link computers via a modem. Later, when mobile telephones without cable links were invented, they used the same principle as used in standard telephones. Instead of wires, radio waves are used to transmit signals between one cell and another. The cellular exchange then directs the message between caller and receiver. If one party is using a landline, a special cellular switching station redirects calls into the cellular phone network. The Internet, a vast computer network, connects computers globally via telephone lines. Two major developments are email and World Wide Web, WWW. While email is a receiving-cum-transmission system, the web is an information-gathering-cum-storage system. A new, bigger, much faster internet is already in its experimental stages. Mass communication, radio, television, newspapers, and even outdoor advertising like kiosks, billboards, and hoardings are going through revolutionary changes because of huge technological advancements. Today, even a personal telephone, with the right type of equipment, can be used for conferencing and other forms of mass communication. Now even electronic newspapers can be accessed on computers or on television at the push of a button on the remote control. Three-dimensional, 3D, graphics and animation are finding wide applications in mass communication. Global society. The people of the world have come closer because of the modern modes of transport and communication. Understanding this fact, globalization had been promoted as a means of achieving integration of economies of the world. Global society is also an extension of this term. It is also described as global civil society. It is especially being promoted to achieve international peace. Keywords: nomad, people moving from place to place. Transhumans, a type of pastoralism characterized by movement to higher reaches of a mountain during summer and lower reaches during winter. Dry point settlement, settlement on high ground, safe from flooding. Wet point settlement, Settlement formed around watercourses like river banks. Monorail, railway trains suspended in air by magnetic levitation, usually running on a single track. Mass communication, the medium of communication catering to large number of people at a time like newspapers, television, hoardings, etc. Let's revise. Human life first appeared on the earth some millions of years ago. The early men were hunter-gatherers. The practice of living at one place emerged with regular farming and domestication of animals. Different factors played role in the development of settlements. The settlements are classified into rural and urban. Transport and communication networks have played an important role in human-environment interaction. Land, water and air are the important sources for transport. Land transport involves roads and railways. Even today, there are unsurfaced and surfaced roads. Let's revise. These are three types of locomotives: electric, diesel-electric and diesel. Waterways comprise of inland waterways and ocean routes. Air transport is the fastest but the most expensive means of transport. There are two types of communications: personal communication and mass communication. Modern means of transport and communication have brought the people of the world closer.
Like, share and subscribe.